Good afternoon. This is First Look from Washington today. My name is Jim McGlinchy. I'm a senior broadcast producer for the Evening News. And we're here in Washington today because I'm sure many of you heard that Senator Tim Johnson was taken ill last night in his office and rushed to the hospital with a problem in his brain, and they had to operate last night. And so we're taking a look today at how his illness is affecting not only the people up on Capitol Hill, but the fragile balance between the Democrats and the Republicans in the Senate. And we're going to have Gloria Borgia take a look at all the political ramifications. But in here in the Evening News area, Cheryl Atkinson's with us, and I'm going to bring in, and Cheryl's going to tell us what she's working on this evening. And Cheryl, mostly you're setting the scene up for what happened last night, right?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, when someone gets sick normally, it's sort of a big worry for their family and a big problem for everybody to think about. But when a senator gets sick in this climate, it has possible national implications. So with the balance of power so delicate, we're really obviously kind of playing out and looking at all the possibilities. We've been sort of hoping for some good news all day, coming from the hospital or from the senator's office. We haven't gotten good news.
Right.
We're getting very little information, really.
And the first thing when we heard about this last night, there was talk of a stroke, but it's actually something different than a stroke, right? Something that seems unusual. I'd not heard of it before.
We're going to have some medical experts explain this for us on tonight's Evening News, but it looks like it's all in that same category. It involves bleeding on the brain. It sounds somewhat like when you hear of things that there's been a stroke or an aneurysm, but they're not calling it that. It's something slightly different. It's something they say is congenital that he's had since birth, the risk factor for, that now apparently has actually bled to his brain. But we're going to have some experts try to explain that very clearly for us tonight. And Allison Taylor, my producer over here, with Esha, our intern, are working on some elements. What are you working on, Allison?
I'm working on talking to a doctor from a local hospital to explain exactly what is Senator Johnson's condition, how that occurs, how often that sort of thing occurs. So that's what we're working on, maybe do a little visual with it to make it easier for people to understand exactly what happens in the brain.
Okay. And to deviate for just a moment, if I may, a lot of other great stories in the show tonight, too. We want to say goodbye to Esha, who's been here with us for quite a few months and done a fantastic job.
That's right.
And this is her last day.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You've done a great job.
And Cheryl's right, we do have a number of other stories. David Martin is looking at whether we're going to have to call up more reserves and National Guard folks, and I know there are a lot of people like that out in the country, so it'll be interesting to see what David Martin from the Pentagon can find out as well. So I hope you watch tonight, and thanks.